They say he's acting like he has a Napoleon complex. But what does that really mean? The term Napoleon Complex comes from the idea that shorter men, like the French military leader Napoleon Bonaparte, try to compensate for their height through dominance, aggression, or control. It's the stereotype of the short man syndrome, the person who feels small inside, but demands to be seen as larger than life. Yet, like most psychological labels, the truth is deeper than the joke. The Napoleon Complex isn't just about height. It's about insecurity and overcompensation. It's the invisible pressure to prove worth when you secretly feel underestimated. It's when someone believes that power is the only way to silence the voice of inadequacy. Think about it. People who grow up constantly compared, dismissed, or made to feel less than often develop a subconscious mission to dominate their environment. They build a personality out of performance, out of being louder, stronger, faster, or more successful. Because somewhere along the line, they learned that love or respect must be earned through control. Napoleon himself was average height for his era, around 5 feet 6 inches. The myth of him being unusually short actually came from British propaganda during wartime, meant to belittle his power. But the phrase Napoleon Complex survived, not as history, but as psychology. In modern terms, it describes what we call overcompensation behavior. When someone feels inadequate in one area, they attempt to counterbalance it with exaggerated success in another. It's why the quietest sense of insecurity can lead to the loudest displays of confidence. The more fragile the ego, the more it demands to be admired. You might see it in leadership, in relationships, in everyday life. The person who micromanages, interrupts, or dominates conversations. The one who always has to win, even when no one's competing. To the outside world, it looks like confidence. But to a psychologist, it often signals fear. The fear of being seen as small, powerless, or unworthy. But here's the twist. Not everyone who fights to prove themselves has a Napoleon complex. The difference lies in awareness. Healthy ambition says, I want to grow. The Napoleon complex says, I must dominate so no one ever sees my weakness. One is rooted in confidence, the other in insecurity. And this isn't exclusive to men or height. Women, leaders, even nations can display it. Anywhere pride replaces vulnerability, the complex can live. So what's the cure? It begins with emotional honesty, asking yourself, what am I trying to prove? And to whom? True power isn't about being bigger. It's about being secure enough to not need to appear that way. The lesson behind the Napoleon complex isn't about short men. It's about the human condition. When you heal your insecurity, you no longer need to rule the room to feel seen. You simply are.